Hello there, and welcome to Fixing the Sequel Trilogy, the Writers' Room podcast dedicated to fixing the Star Wars sequels. This week is part 2 of Fixing the Force Awakens, and we'll be covering Act 2A of our beat sheets up until the midpoint. If none of that makes sense to you, fear not, I'll explain in a moment, but for now, I'm Bryce Quinn, and I'm joined by my writing co-pilot, Carmelo Keating.
Hey Bryce, how you doing?
I'm going pretty good. I'm excited. How are you feeling?
No, good. Yeah.
Not good?
No. Nah, not good. No, I suppose I don't know where I'm going to finish at this point.
Yeah.
Because if we're going up to the
Big
midpoint, I
question
actually
mark.
don't know where it is. This sounds awful. It's in there. Trust me, it's in there
somewhere.
I'm sure it's in there. I just haven't analyzed my own work enough to be like, yeah.
I'm
anyway.
also joined by our ferocious whipmaster, Sandro Karayan.
Howdy. How we going?
Last week, we presented you with our beat sheets of Act 1 of The Force Awakens. This week is Act 2A, the second quarter of the film, which covers the fun and games segment and ends with the midpoint. Our characters are in a brand new world and have stepped through the threshold from which there is no return. In this part of the story, they explore that new world until the midpoint, which brings with it a radical shift that changes the story and reveals its true nature. So there's a lot of stuff there. It's a lot of wishy-washy structure talk. So the first thing I want to do is talk about some structure in other movies so we can get an idea of it.
Cool.
Because we didn't do that last week and we probably should have.
No, that sounds good. I'd like to amend my previous statement. I do know where my midpoint is. I'm a silly bastard.
Okay, cool.
Let's keep going.
That's good. So I just wanted to quickly talk about some movies that like a bunch of people have seen. If you're not super familiar with like talking about structure and analyzing structure, because we've broken it down into Act 2A and then next week will be Act 2B and followed by Act 3. Usually when it's talked about, it's like those are the 25% marks of each film. So for Jurassic Park, for instance, when they go through the gates of the park itself, that begins the fun and games section of the story. And that's from Save the Cat.
The first act turning point.
Yeah. And so they get into the park, they see the dinosaurs for the first time. After that, they can never go back to the world before because they've seen dinosaurs that changed their lives. And they're going through the park. The pinch point, the first point of like, oh, shit's going wrong is when the storm comes in. And it's like, oh, we've got to get everyone back. The midpoint is when the T-Rex attacks.
Yep.
And that changes the whole story. It's a false defeat / false victory, which is a term that's also used in Save the Cat, I think. It's just like, oh no, something's gone really wrong, but it's not everything's not over yet, even though we might feel like it is.
Yeah.
And so that changes the whole course of the story, and it reveals what the actual story is about, which is the dinosaurs have escaped, and we've got to get away from the dinosaurs.
Yeah. I rewatched Jurassic Park the other day.
You did. That's what was on my mind.
Yeah. And I hadn't seen it in ages. Great example. But after, when you don't watch a movie for a while, you come back and the concept of time is a little bit different. And I think, as I said to you when I was watching, I was like, wow, this doesn't happen until really late in the movie.
There's no action, really,
The
until
dinosaurs
the midpoint.
out.
Yeah, until really late in the movie. Yeah.
That's the midpoint,
It's crazy.
wild.
Also, I completely misconstrued in my mind how the whole disaster happened. The storm was just a cover for Nedry to do his dodgy shit.
Yes.
It was all him.
Yes.
I knew he was the villain, but I forgot why.
So another one's Harry Potter. So the inciting incident, Hagrid says like, "You're a wizard, Harry."
Yep.
But then when he actually steps into Diagon Alley, that's the really beginning of Act 2A, and that is the fun and games all the way up until the midpoint, which I believe is the troll attacking in the dungeon and like learning all the spells. That's fun and games, like for sure, because you're becoming a wizard and learning all the spells and stuff.
Would it be midpoint? I'm trying to think. Is it maybe more? It maybe something more to do with like Voldemort or like some revelation there. I could definitely see the troll thing because that's like when the trio come together as
Actually,
friends.
didn't check that one.
Nah,
so-
that's fine. Doesn't matter.
And like as you described before, like what was it? The pinch.
Pinch point is like where the idea of the villain kind of reinserts itself into the story. So when you see like it cuts away to Darth Vader on the Death Star, it's like, oh, pinch point, like
Right.
bad stuff.
So
can
is
still
that sort of
happen
like the Quidditch game?
here. Potentially, yes. Actually, that's a really good point because that's still within the fun and game section. But remember, there's Voldemort's here influencing the story, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what a pinch point looks like. So that's kind of what the structure is when we're talking about movies. And then you get to halfway through the movie, and something big usually happens right at the midpoint. And the Daniels talked about this for Everything Everywhere All at Once. You reveal the truth of the story. Like, what's the story actually about here? And for them, it was when, I can't remember the mum's name, Michelle Yeoh's character in Everything Everywhere. She decides, I've got to go save Joy by becoming like one with the multiverse almost and doing crazy shit and embracing the truth of the story and the theme and blowing her mind into a million pieces.
Yep.
And that reveals what the actual story is really about. So yeah, that's cool stuff. And that's what we're going to be inspired by when we're doing our beat sheet stuff today.
Cool.
Long enough of a rant. Shall we get
That's
into
good.
it?
Yeah.
No.
Any sort of like brief recap stuff, or just go watch last week's
I reckon
episode?
a brief recap couldn't hurt.
I feel like
maybe just the moment before.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, like
that's
what
good.
led
Yeah.
right up to this, yeah. Well, my break into Act 2 was just like some tie-in scenes, nothing too extravagant. It was Luke flying off towards Hosnian Prime, and Rey and Ben flying off towards Finn, trying to track him down. And
Okay.
yours?
Where I left off, it is Rey and Ben have discovered some stuff about the First Order in their base. First Order have evacuated onto a ship.
Yeah.
And they've just blown up their own
Yeah, they
base
blown up
and
the whole
city.
base, yeah.
The whole city there.
Awesome. I'll go first again.
Yeah, fun and games. Here we go.
Fun and games begin. So, this is beat 1. Following Maz Kanata's lead, the suspicious movements of one of the galaxy's most dangerous bounty hunters. I fucking wrote bouncer hunters here. Whoops.
Yo,
Bouncer hunters.
Ben and Rey journey together through hyperspace. That is the first beat because it's the beginning of Fun and Games. These two characters meeting each other and talking to each other.
Yeah,
First time. So I'm imagining Ben flying the X-Wing and Rey flying whatever her ship looks like. That's up to the design team later on.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that.
Design team,
Yeah,
please?
no, Melly, you can do
Yeah.
that. Her ship needs to be big enough to. It's sort of like I'm imagining almost like a Razor Crest kind of thing because it like has to hold
That big?
prisoners. Not that big in the sense of what it can do. It
Oh,
flies
okay.
places and it holds prisoners.
Okay.
That's the capability.
What sort of
You
very
don't imagine
generic letter of the alphabet shape would you like?
Generic letter of the alphabet
Z-wing.
shape. I would want an M.
An M?
wing.
I can make an M happen.
You know what would be cool? Like
Go
a
on.
Q wing.
Q for Quinn.
Quinn.
Quinn wing.
No.
Quinn wing.
It's like
Quinjet.
Quinjet.
Oh my god.
if you imagine like a circle, but like the part where the pilot is the little.
Oh, so the Millennium Falcon without the,
The
two
little-
prongs at the front.
It's a Millennium Falcon, but it's
No,
more
no,
of a
it's
donut.
it's a spinning circle. Like the circle's hollow in the middle.
Sandro, you've created something truly heinous here. This is awful. It's like General Grievous's like one ring thing,
Yeah,
but it's a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
spaceship.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. Yeah.
It's awful.
That it moves through space with the momentum of the wheel.
Yes.
Anywhom, it's Rey and Ben talking to each other over comms
Yeah.
in hyperspace. That's kind of what I've got in.
Oh, they're
in
not
mind.
together.
No,
They're not
on the same
ship.
They are together but separate.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
cute.
They're different, but they're the same.
They're different,
Different,
but
but they're
we're
the
the
same.
same.
Beat 2. I don't know if there's much to comment on there. Beat 2. Rey and Ben jump out of hyperspace and fly down to a quaint little farm planet. There, a pirate ship led by the bounty hunter they're looking for is laying siege to the farm. Despite Rey's protestations, Ben intervenes and Rey is forced to join him. During the fight, Ben's X-Wing is destroyed and Rey crash lands her ship near the farm. So yeah, big action scene.
Not
Nice.
Ben's X-Wing.
Luke's X-Wing.
Luke's that motherfucker.
Luke's X-Wing is completely destroyed. This is the first in a long line of Ben failing
no.
completely. Yes.
Oh no.
What
a
a
legacy. We
useless
just killed a legacy
bastard.
ship.
I killed the
Yeah.
legacy ship. Not the legacy character though.
But now we've got them on the same ship.
Bryce,
Exactly.
I'd like to. It's nice, but Hasbro would object, and Lego would also object.
Yeah.
You can't. That'd make
Big
money off that
objections from
shit,
the toy
man. You can't go
company.
blowing it up.
I'm not shocked at all to hear that Mello's not a fan of this.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, you can blow up whatever ships you want. okay.
So yeah, we start off in an action
Maybe-
scene. They've tracked down this bounty hunter to the planet. It's a farm planet.
Yep.
And supposedly Finn is nearby somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
And they get into a fight because Ben's like, "Oh, there's pirates attacking this farm. Let's kill
Yeah,
them."
let's
kind
be a
of thing.
hero.
Yeah, exactly. He
Yeah.
goes right in for the kill. Whereas Rey's like, "Let's not jump into that fight. This is the perfect distraction. Let's go down to the planet."
Quick little backtrack to beat 1.
Yep.
I am curious, what do you imagine their conversation over the comms whilst in hyperspace looking like?
Good question. It'd probably be talking about like motivations and stuff. Rey being very shut off, not wanting to open up at all, and Ben maybe being sassy like both of his parents and trying to sarcastically win her over with charm would be my guess.
Right. So Ben's really instigating that
Ben
conversation.
wants to be like a heroic adventurer just like his parents. So he's
Right.
instigating the conversation. He's
Gotcha.
trying to like get to know this person a little bit better. Like, who am I traveling with?
The parallels are remarkable, as we'll later find out,
How so?
between your treatment and my treatment.
Yeah,
In
brilliant.
terms of like where we're starting.
Yeah.
It just works anyway. But yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how I imagine that conversation. And Rey being very closed off here, not wanting to be friends.
Yeah,
But
nice.
maybe you're starting to see like just the glimmer of, maybe she can have fun too. So yeah, they have that fight. Rey crash lands and Ben falls out of his ship. I'm imagining potentially, this is a bit rowdy, but maybe like an Ahsoka kind of like he's falling through the sky, she has to catch him kind of thing. Potentially. I don't know. Because I want the X-Wing to be destroyed. But anyway, that's the important part.
Right. Yeah.
Beat 3. Luke arrives on Hosnian Prime and reunites with Leia and Lando. They catch each other up on everything that's happened, and Luke has an idea. They should invite Hux out to dinner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is Luke's idea.
This is Luke's idea.
We're gonna wine and dine.
I'm
We're going
Hugs.
to wine and dine him, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Leia's
they're-
keen on debating him and
Yeah.
winning and destroying him in the debate, whereas Luke, I think, is aiming for more diplomacy.
And correct me if I'm wrong, it just at the very end of your Act 1,
Yeah.
Hux was pushing for kyber weapons.
The one scene we see of Hux is him debating against Leia. And they're arguing in the Senate. It's an emergency Senate hearing to discuss the problem of this newly used weapon. And Leia calls for a formal debate
Yes.
and is able to kick that further down along the plot line.
Yeah. So Luke rocks up on Hosnian Prime and is like, We should chat to this guy.
We should go
one-on-one.
and chat to this guy one-on-one. Let me get in the same room with him and talk to him. I'm a really good diplomat. Like, I'm really good at diplomacy.
Sounds like a threat. Sounds like he's gonna kill him. Let me get into this room and like talk to him. You know?
Yeah, I just want a word. I just want to talk to him.
I was just, it was just a nice chat that I had with the Emperor on the second Death Star.
Beat 4. Back on Phasma's ship, the Warlord is traveling through hyperspace. She receives a call from the leader of the so-called New Empire, who attempts to restart negotiations. Phasma lies and says that she would be thrilled to, and that she is already on her way. After the call, Phasma checks in on the bounty hunter situation and is assured that FN-2187 will soon be captured. So yeah, it's kind of just like a check-in, very much Darth Vader style, like, oh, I'm evil, I'm doing my evil plans.
Yep.
Very much kind of that scene.
But she gets a call from
The leader of the New Empire. So this is like a new character introduction here. Potentially someone like, who's that fucking Allegiant General Pride?
Yeah.
Is that his, yeah.
Yeah.
From...
We want Richard E. Grant in here?
I'd love Richard E. Grant. He's great. Cool. Someone like that, I'm imagining, like a leader of a different Imperial faction that is probably the largest Imperial faction.
Yeah. If we've got the opportunity, let's let the mind wander. Now, who could we cast?
Well, there's Richard E. Grant, or the guy from The Last Jedi at the very start who
that
dies
one guy.
straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
I can't remember who he is, but he was awesome.
Some other like, they just picked Ryan and JJ were just like, this famous stage actor who I love.
Yeah.
Let's put them in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But has Bill Nye been in Star Wars?
No, he has not.
Wow.
And he is charismatic as shit.
I tell you what, for reasons that will make sense later, Bill Nye would be perfect.
Okay, I can't wait.
So,
Don't kill this character off. If you're casting Bill Nye, I'm sorry. He is in the entire
He's
trilogy.
going to cost way too much. You got to kill
He's
him
only
off.
you
Bill
have
Nye.
to kill him off. Yeah, absolutely.
He's only Oscar nominated.
So, beat 5. Ray and Ben awaken after being knocked unconscious to the sight of angry farmers and FN-2187, who is leading them. He has taken Ray and Ben as his prisoners and demands that Ray repair her ship and fly him to the seat of the New Empire. Ray and Ben have no choice but to comply. They're tied up.
Wow.
So yeah,
He doesn't try and fight his way out.
Who, Ray and Ben?
Ben, yeah.
Oh, for sure later.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not in that moment. Kind of thing.
Cool. What sort of farming are we talking?
So this is a New Empire farm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a farm planet to supply them with, crops and food and that kind of stuff.
Damn, what is
And
like
that's where
some
Finn
sort
is
of
hiding
like
out.
really regimented, stiff, dull life farm? What does that look like?
Good question. This is my least favorite part of the beat sheets. This is when we get to the final part. When we've gone through all of our beats and stuff, this is something I really want to return to because I'm super not happy with it.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining right now.
How did they get captured exactly?
Well, they crashed and were both unconscious. So I imagine they were both dragged out of Ray's ship.
Gotcha.
And then, tied up and surrounded with guns and stuff.
Yeah, right.
It's a good little like always wear a seatbelt campaign
Yeah,
in
exactly.
there. Safety messages and morals all throughout Star Wars.
Beat 6. Luke and Leia join Hux for dinner, where each party tries to convince the other that their side is right. The dinner is interrupted by an assassin who is trying to kill Hux, sent by Phasma. Luke effortlessly takes down this assassin and discovers that they were sent by Phasma.
Now takes down as in they don't. He doesn't
Kill him.
No,
Doesn't
yeah,
kill the
cool.
assassin.
Cool. Up until that
Just
point.
cuts his arms off.
Okay, so I'm envisioning Shrek 2.
Yeah. There's some Shrek 2 vibes
Fuck
here.
yeah. Okay.
What I was really... The strongest thing I've got in my head for this is Hux is curious about the Force
Yeah.
and the Jedi.
Yeah.
And he's like, what can you... Like, I've heard you can control minds. And Luke's like, no, that only works on the weak-minded. I would never insult you by doing that. And Hux is like, no, try it. I want to see what happens. And then Luke's like, okay. And does like a little like mind trick. And Hux is like, oh, that is marvelous. Like, I was really going to poke myself in the eye or something like that. Just something like fun, like a little fun,
Yeah,
like
okay.
to really, explore Hux's character a bit and get a sense of who he is and what he believes and how he operates.
Yeah,
and
right.
figures things
So
out.
what I'm getting from this is that he's like he's envious.
N-
He's a
uh,
little bit power hungry. Does he like want to be a
Yeah,
Jedi,
I
but he
was-
obviously can't?
Yeah, I was about to pose a question. Like, what is Hux in your treatment?
So far, I really like the idea that Hux is just a misguided person with a deep sense of justice.
Yeah.
He really wants what's best for the galaxy, and he's terrified of the idea that people on the Outer Rim have kyber lasers
Yeah.
and the threat that poses to the New Republic. And he doesn't believe Leia when Leia says, if we have one of these lasers, we are evil and we are contributing to mass destruction.
Yeah.
Even if we never fire it, it's still evil to build one.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, that is just a really naive point of view because these lasers already exist and they're going to be used. We need a deterrent. And there's an argument for both. I really like the idea that both, like you could argue for both easily. And he's not just necessarily an evil guy. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Hux. He's just misguided. But the assassination attempt is from Phasma because Phasma is not a mastermind genius. She's a strategic genius. And if she could have assassinated him, that would have made it a lot easier for her to win because no one's going to be game enough to build kyber lasers, is my thinking anyway.
Yeah, right.
That's how I imagine Phasma would be thinking about it, even if she doesn't think he would be martyred. I don't know. Sorry if that got complicated.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
Like Phasma being this kind of just warlord. Her solution to everything is kill it or raise it to the ground. So
It would be a good little payoff though in terms of testing the mind trick thing, because then when they get the bounty hunter, I'm guessing Luke is just like,
yeah, give
blah,
me the
tell me,
information.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that could be cool as well. I really like that. Beat 7, Ray, Ben, and Finn share a tense but cozy dinner around the campfire. They go to sleep, and Ray and Ben share an unsettling force dream which warns them of the bounty hunter approaching their camp. They wake up just in time to defeat the bounty hunter, but Ben then uses the opportunity to take Finn prisoner and escape the farm. A couple things happening there.
Campfire scene. Love it.
Shared dream, and they turn the tables on Finn during the night and capture him as their prisoner.
Yep.
Because Ben has no difficulty getting out of his restraints. The thing that was like,
right.
how about let's just like wait for the right moment, the right time,
yeah.
and this to Ben feels like the right
Play
moment.
So
pretend,
they share a dream. They wake up in their restraints.
Yes, but Ben kind of gets out instantly.
Yeah, right. And it's just Finn was the person who tied them up.
No, again, all the other farmers and stuff with their rudimentary laser guns.
Yeah, gotcha.
To defending the farm and stuff.
They got his saber. Take the saber off him.
I assume so. Yeah, force grab.
Yep.
Grabs the saber.
Easy as. Yeah, love it.
Nice.
So yeah, fun scene there, and then they take Finn prisoner and escape with him and fly off. And at this point, Finn's like, "I just drop me off at the new Empire. Just take me to that planet, please." Yeah. As this unlikely trio enters the atmosphere, they see Phasma's ship fire on the new Empire, destroying the city entirely. Finn is horrified, and for the first time, Rey is on Ben's side. Phasma needs to go down. So that's the midpoint. That's the kind of big false defeat where it's like, holy shit, like if we had acted faster, maybe we could have stopped Phasma from doing this as well. Even though it is like the seat of the new Empire, it's still, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people just died. So that is the end of my beat sheet. I did 8 beats for this one. It's remarkably short. This, I think, is the part of my beat sheet that needs the most work. I've got a lot more for
This is your
the rest of the story.
This is like the character growth section, So
Exactly,
it's like,
and I've gone light on that.
No, that's fine. There's opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was fun. There were games.
You get the action scene, you get the campfire with Finn, there's fun, and there is also games.
There are games.
That fucking broke Mello.
I wasn't intending on that being that funny, but
It's not. I don't know. It wasn't even that funny.
I'm glad.
It was just like,
I'm glad because I was going to say something afterwards,
Brain
but I
just said
forgot, so I'm
laugh.
glad you started laughing.
Oh, sad.
No, when I think of like fun and games, it's easy to like. What are fun and games when we get to Return of the Jedi?
See, it's
Don't
trickier.
use Return of the Jedi.
It's
as an
trickier with
example.
sequels
Yeah.
because in Return of the Jedi we start with fun and games. Like,
Yeah.
we start with them on a completely different quest, on a completely different story, and they wrap it up within the first act, and they move on to the rest of the story.
Almost unrelated to the.
Return of the Jedi is Star Wars at its most.
Yeah.
Where it's that episodic matinee thing where you stop watching after the Jabba the Hutt sequence.
Yeah.
That's that episode.
That's
and then
that's
you
one done.
then you
Yeah.
come back in and you start watching the next
Exactly.
episode.
If we were going to talk about Star Wars stuff, in A New Hope, I think is a better example.
Yeah, like trash compactor.
It's
flying
trash
through.
compactor. It's their first time getting to the Death Star and doing all of that and exploring around and having that really fun time there. And then I think the midpoint. I can't actually remember where the midpoint. There's a couple. I think that I've seen a couple different
Is it when
interpretations.
they
of it.
rescue Leia?
Maybe.
Because things start to go downhill from there. Then,
Yeah.
then it's tension. Then it's Obi-Wan dies.
Yeah.
Then, like
And honestly, the midpoint might even be earlier, where the Death Star is used. I don't know how early that comes in the film.
That's true.
they're still
be
on the
that,
Falcon
so.
train.
It depends
Is
on
it-
like
is
what's
it-
in the dead center of the film.
No,
I
not
don't-
even because like the midpoint's like it's not also a timing thing. It's
Yeah,
more-
that's true. That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
I reckon so. It's either where they get on the Death Star,
Yeah.
or they find Leia.
Yeah, that's fair.
'Cause that's the key objective.
I
of
read
the
an
film,
analysis
is rescue her.
of A New Hope, and the person writing it was like, it's hard to tell sometimes because the film is so full of fun and games throughout the entire runtime. So the Dianoga in the trash compactor scene, it feels like fun and games, even though that is in Act 2B where the enemies are closing in. I mean, literally, like the trash compactor is closing in around them. So
Say what you will about the film. I think we can use Phantom Menace as an example. I'd say it's when he wins the pod race, because then things start to
False
really,
victory.
really
Yeah.
change from there.
exactly,
Yeah, for sure. Getting away from more.
Yeah, because then it's like,
exactly.
you're going to come away with me. Instantly in danger. You want to
Yeah.
become a Jedi? Instantly almost gets run down. What a wise choice. If I was Anakin, turn heel, fucking run back the other way, go home.
I give up.
This is
I quit.
immediately not a good idea.
But yeah, so that's
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
really
cool.
fun.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of points to have other than like I wish there was more fun in games.
yeah.
But like where do we sort of call the line on like what is too much fun in games?
So the way I was trying to think of it is like there should be 2 acts ish within this broader act. So there should be the first one, which is Rey and Ben get to the fight and they win the fight, but also lose and fall and crash land. The next act for them is meeting Finn, having the campfire scene, getting attacked by the bounty hunter, and then making their way up into the atmosphere, into space. Because that feels so short, you got to remember we're also cutting back to Leia and Luke, and we're also doing their story, and we're also cutting to Phasma and Han in prison as well. So.
And we're sort of getting like some fun, fun and games with Luke.
So the Luke scene with the assassin, I wanted to introduce like a little point of action there so that we were getting some fun and games. And it also was like an interesting thing to see Leia and Luke talk to Hux and have that conversation. And Hux really see a Jedi for the first time and really think like, is this who I want defending the galaxy, or do I want my own laser?
Yeah.
And you have that kind of that interplay there. So I see what you mean with like wanting more fun and games, but I was hesitant to put anything more in just because it's like, blow it out
that's
too
so
much.
fair.
I've got some different stuff for us.
Let's jump into Mellows.
I've got some guns and fame.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so First Order has just fired the Death Star on what was their own like base and city.
Evacuate their base.
Wow.
And then,
But Rey and Ben are also already in Rey's ship in space.
Mhm.
So it's immediately, okay, we've got them on the radar. Go, go, go. Get after them. And so we have that sort of bit, kind of like in the original Force Awakens, where you've got Finn and Poe trying to evade, except they will actually send out fighters in this instance, because that was dumb not to do that. We get
What
to
was it
see...
in Force Awakens?
They just shot at him with lasers.
Shoot at it from
Oh,
a
really?
distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't.
God.
Yeah. In the defense of the movie,
Yeah.
I do believe they destroyed the hangar on the way out. Didn't
That was
they?
just the one hangar. They've got multiple,
okay,
there's
okay.
more than, anyway, yeah. They sent heat-seeking missiles. That
They
was
did.
a cool addition, I mean,
Heat-seeking missiles.
yeah, because they had him in Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
They're in Attack of the Clones.
We've never seen it in the movies before. Oh, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I think Django's ship, like that,
right.
that space fight. That space
Oh,
fight's
yeah.
still like probably maybe one of the best dog fights in Star Wars.
Yeah. And it's just one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm just fanboying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll stop.
Anyway, okay, so yeah, Ben takes the reins on the ship, and Rey's like, "It's my fucking ship." He's like,
Get out of here. You know, let
So
me
we
take a
finally
seat.
get to see Ben, who should be the ultimate pilot.
Yeah.
Son of Han,
Spreads his wings.
nephew of Luke, spreads his wings and flies himself.
genetically,
Modified,
predetermined to
yeah.
be able to fly like pilot really well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Regardless, they do get hit because there's stakes. These are threatening sort of odds. They jump to hyperspace just to the nearest system. We cut to inside the First Order ship. You see Phasma again. Phasma dispatches squadrons just to the nearest systems they can't have gotten far. Go, find them. Get
Yeah,
these
right.
people.
So their ship's damaged, can't go through hyperspace.
No.
Yeah.
No, so that who?
Rain and
No, they can jump to hyperspace, but they've taken some hits. We just don't know yet to what extent. So,
Right,
but,
gotcha, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go to Luke and Leia.
Sorry, just
And
before you
Han,
move
sorry,
on,
yeah.
why does Phasma want the ship? Why does she
What
want
I found that one
Yeah.
survivors, because remember they're like
Oh, like no witnesses? Kind
no
of thing?
witnesses. Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
destroyed this entire planet. This is their first time using their Death Star tech. No one can know yet that
Gotcha.
they've got Death Star tech.
Yep.
Oh, any other questions? That's the first beat.
That was my
Are
only
they
question. Like,
not-
why does Phasma care?
yeah. I guess my question is maybe like a further elaboration on why does Phasma care when like her ship shot at it's still like a city, yeah.
Yeah, it's sitting here.
But like they're not like other parts of.
This is a very barren planet. We'll
Oh,
say
okay.
this is like
Yeah.
like we were given to understand Tatooine was.
Mm.
Not barren in that sense. We'll make it visually interesting, something different. But yeah, a single city
Okay.
planet. We'll call it. Yeah.
Right, got you. Okay.
Luke gets on a call with Han and Leia. Ben's run away. He's now discovered that,
Mhm.
because this whole time Ben's gone off and done things. Leia reveals that she put a call out for information on the First Order. Based on the conversation that the three of them have, they reason that Ben must have gone after them. He must have, rejected Luke's orders to, stay put. They have their own duty. This time, neither Luke nor Han can refuse the call, and so they determine they're going to have to go after Ben.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So short little one, but there's B2.
So they're going to ignore the orders of the New Republic and go after him?
This time they go on rogue, and this
Cool.
time Luke's going rogue to his own lessons. It's not
Interesting.
about the First Order; it's about Ben. We've got to bring him back.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ben and Rey, they argue a bit in hyperspace about what's happening right now. She's stuck with this guy, and things that just seem going from bad to worse, and she hasn't got all the information she needs. How's she going to collect the bounty? Rey's afraid of Ben. She doesn't explicitly say this, but it kind of informs a lot of her attitudes and decision making.
Okay.
They reveal to each other a bit more about their motives. Ben's, as a Jedi, he wants to do what he seems is right. He wants to take down the First Order, be the hero. Rey is just trying to set herself up for the better life. This is not something that the two of them have exchanged yet. But either way, they both still want to go after the First Order. They reach an understanding. For now, they are better off working together. They arrive above Takodana, a jungle planet. a key amendment I did make. Last time I said that the informant that Rey had to go to wasn't Takodana. That didn't make sense. It's Hosnian Prime. She has to go to Hosnian Prime.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Coming out of hyperspace, the damage to the ship is a bit more evident. Shields are weaker, and they have no means of communication. As they head towards what looks like a settlement, a First Order ship enters the area. They're very quick on it. They chase towards the planet. This atmosphere is very dense, difficult to navigate, and both ships do end up crashing. Rey and Ben's is down beyond repair, and so following smoke, they decide to try and find the First Order one. Maybe there's another chance of another ship, using that ship if they can fight their way out. A fight ensues as they approach the area, and they are elite fighters. Ben takes on most of them, whilst Rey just goes one-on-one with a single trooper. A bit more of her seemingly superhuman agility does reveal itself in this fight, but
Force speed.
She does like a super backflip, and Ben's like, "Whoa!"
just some subtle enough things. He's
Yeah.
quite tied up, quite distracted. Ben taps into some real deep aggression. Fucking goes ham on these troopers. It's very
yeah.
different from the way we saw him defending people earlier in the film. Anyway, the trooper ends up with being the only person left. He has Rey by a knife's edge, sort of like the knife around the throat sort of thing. Tells Ben to surrender. Ben very simply uses the Force to disarm this trooper. They decide they'll keep him alive should they need some sort of hostage, further run-ins with the First Order. This ship can also not fly. They can't get a signal out because of this forest. It's far too dense. That settlement that they were looking at can't have been far, so they figure we're going to have to go by foot. Anyway, there's that beat.
Your beats are very long.
My beats are long. My beats are beat heading and then elaborate on the events. But that one was lots of
Yeah.
action heavy, so I needed to detail that. But there's some fun, there's some games.
Yeah, no, I've kind of lost you there, my friend.
Yeah?
So they go down to the planet. They're
Yep.
chased by the First Order, who have found them after jumping through hyperspace.
Yeah.
And without a tracker.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
just because Phasma sent out multiple squadrons.
Go to a bunch of galaxies and
Go
try.
to a bunch of nearby planets. 'cause,
And they
yeah.
crash land on the planet.
Yep.
And they're trying to walk to the First Order ship that has chased them there and has landed looking for them. And they're like, "I'm going to steal the ship."
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
And that's everything that just happened there.
Yeah.
Just trying to follow. It's like, whoa, there's a lot of action there.
Sandro?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. So before, when you specified, Phasma sent the ships out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like nearby. I assume also nearby planets in that system, but she also sent ships out to other systems, and one of those ships is the one that crash lands. Got you. Okay.
Or just like lands, the troopers drop out of it looking for Rey and Ben.
Mm.
And Rey and Ben like, let's cut our way through these guys and get the ship.
Yeah. Right.
Which doesn't work out.
So worry, why
Okay.
didn't that work out?
They've also crashed.
Oh,
They
the First
crashed,
Order
they
also
crashed,
crashed.
everyone crashes.
How did
This
they
is
crash?
Dense planet, dense atmosphere.
Like,
Like-
wait, it's too dense?
It's too dense. The forest
Like
is
the
too
air?
dense.
Or
Yeah,
the...
like the air, there's fog, there's great mountains and rocks. It's hard to navigate. It's like
Oh, okay.
Dagobah, like Luke can't.
Or like when
Oh,
they're
right.
flying into that planet in Rogue One and they're coming in and like,
Wabani, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really hard to
Mm.
land there and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
You do,
yeah. Sorry, I was just
Too
confused. I
tricky.
was like,
It's
why
just
the
too
fuck did the First Order crash? I was so confused.
They're shit. Nah,
Let's go.
they crash. Everyone crashes.
Yep.
Crash landing. So they've still got this trooper apprehended, and they've got him in cuffs and whatever. They're arguing, Ben and this trooper, of course, differing philosophies and all that. He hates this guy.
Mhm.
It becomes clear that the trooper does not know a lot about the First Order. He's clearly brainwashed, and he thinks their duty is righteous and good for the galaxy. Fed up with his ignorance, Ben shows the trooper the info they found on the base, the Death Star tech. How is that for the good of anyone? So we get to a bit that I've always wanted. They fight jungle monsters,
Oh, nice.
and they have to work together to
Yes.
survive. Though Ben objects, Rey cuts the trooper free, who helps fight, and he's not going to run away. He's going to be helpful.
Nice. Does this trooper have a name?
Not yet. Jeff, no. Ben saves the trooper
Yes,
from the
Jeff.
monster. Oh, isn't that nice of him? One of the monsters almost has Ben, but Rey, in a moment of desperation, pushes him out of the way simply by reaching out her hand. They finish fighting off the monsters. They set up camp for the night, all quite jovial over to surviving the creatures. Good job, everyone. Applause all around. Oh, there's that pause there for the beat. Any questions from that?
Oh,
beat?
okay.
Yeah.
So they're
I will just keep talking.
they're taking Finn, who they've taken capture.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they take the First Order ship? Is it like beyond repair?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, well, we're gonna walk to where exactly?
So when they were coming into the planet initially, I get so much
So the
is in
planet
the
is
dialogue here.
the planet is Takodana, and they know that there is a space base.
There's a settlement, it would seem. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's where they're headed.
Yeah. Heading
Okay.
to the settlement. Like, it'll be
Have
that
any of
way.
them?
We're gonna track them by foot. We're gonna try.
And they've
try
just
find it.
none of them have any pre-existing knowledge of the settlement. They're
No.
just like, we saw it, we're gonna head there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Straight
And they take Finn with them, and they're arguing with Finn because they're like, "Screw you, man." Are the rest of these guys dead? Did they die?
yeah.
Ben killed them?
Killed them. Yeah.
Okay.
He's not. How's Finn feeling right now?
Super not good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
Um,
then Ben saves him from the monster. So it's like, what? What's
Yeah.
going on? This is-
Conflicted.
yeah,
And so, yeah, they get attacked by a jungle monster, and Ben saves Finn from the jungle monster.
and Ray saves Ben.
Ray
Why
saves
do
Ben.
they keep Finn alive?
Why did they keep Finn alive?
So what's it? Why kill him?
But
Because
they killed
he
the rest
killed
of
the
them.
rest of them.
They were armed.
Was Finn not armed?
No, he disarmed him.
Yeah, he cut his arms off.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely cut his arms off. Yeah.
We needed one.
They're not straight murderers.
Yeah.
You know.
They're gay murderers. Sorry.
I was
gonna do it
They're not like straight murderers. You know.
Now I'm a huge fan of this BG.
Yeah.
He's just sold Bryce.
Just wait for the midpoint.
Okay, sorry, I was just getting a little lost there, man.
Yeah.
Continue on. Now,
Okay.
I'm with you.
They set up camp for the night. Ray learns a bit about, they talk. Ray learns a bit about the Jedi, and she starts to associate that with some feelings inside of her.
Yeah.
She's still afraid of it, though.
Mhm.
Finn gets a greater understanding of the Jedi, and whilst he's not convinced they are fully good, obviously, because Ben went and carved a bunch of them up, he's impressed by Ben's strength as a fighter and the fact that, well, he did save him, didn't he? Why did he have to do that? All of them bond over feelings of loneliness. Ray and Ben talk private about Ray using the Force, because obviously he saw that it happened. She doesn't want to talk about it. And Finn overhears. If she's also a Jedi, what trust they've formed is now broken, and he has a mission to do. I think he's potentially lost sight of that, but no more. Anyway, so there's that whole bit.
I have a question
Yeah, mate.
about the previous beat.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just came up as you were saying. You moved on to the next beat about like the jungle fight.
Yep.
How do you imagine the dynamics of that working? Do you have anything like in mind, like other than it's a jungle fight? What are the beasts?
They're walking along,
Why?
and then it's like
I'm
creatures.
curious,
and
I'm
it's like
curious.
creatures. They get pounced on by a bunch of like creatures working together in a herd, I guess.
Yeah.
Or in a pack.
Mm.
Pack animals. I'm not going to say that they're... What are those ones from Force Awakens?
Rathars.
I'm not going to say that they're Rathars if that's what you want to know.
No.
Yeah.
I just want to have fun with it. Like I was just wondering if you.
I reckon some sort
you
of
had
like...
any in
I reckon
mind?
some sort of jungle cat.
Jungle cat?
Like the ones from Avatar.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Ah, and
they're
you can
pretty cool.
you can make the bond with them.
Fuck no. No one's going to put anything inside cat and mix with the cat.
Oh,
Those are
well,
weird
that's not
animals.
fun.
No, sorry
Yeah.
if that
I'm gonna
seems like.
Cast my mind back to my first treatment that I wrote up for you guys, where I had a mixture between crocodiles and octopus.
Oh.
There's a
Oh.
crocodile octopus.
Sorry, I thought you were going somewhere else there.
No, that's for later. No, they're sort of
The
like
crab? Is he going to do the crab again?
I don't want to say.
sort
it.
of like a crocodile octopus
Right.
kind of vibe is
Yeah.
what I had, like
Okay.
a crocodile rathar.
I like that.
Is
That's
what I
also
that's what I
cool.
pictured in the first one. I could see that working in the jungle, but also like jungle cats is cool too.
Yeah.
What if it was like a crocodile? Now I'm thinking about crocodile octopus.
I just like
But, like,
crocodile in the jungle. It's cool.
Instead of it's like
Croctopus.
snappy. It's snappy. What do you call it? Like it's
You
not-
mean a
snout? The snout of the crocodile.
yeah,
It's not just like that hinge, but it's like it's four separate
like Stranger Things?
oh, like Blade 3, where the mouths open up in 4 different directions.
Yeah, I haven't seen Blade 3, but
just
yes.
trust me.
Yeah, yeah.
They did
the
3
mouth-
Blade movies?
They did 3 Blade.
I've
movies.
seen
the fuck?
up to the first 2.
You're missing out on Ryan Reynolds in the 3rd Blade movie.
I know about
Who was
Ryan,
Ryan Reynolds in the third? What is he? What does he play?
He plays a guy who kills vampires. I think. I watched it when I was a
He
kid.
plays Ryan Reynolds.
He just has never been able to resist superhero.
No,
shit, has
he really hasn't. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It hasn't worked out for him most of the time.
No, it hasn't. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, it splits up into 4.
So a vampire crocodile from Blade.
Vampire, crocodile, and like they also look like tentacles, kind of like Mind Flayer.
Ew.
Mind Flayer, snout kind of vibe.
How do you feel about that one, Mello?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
we-
not really relevant.
No,
but
we can definitely move on from that. Thanks for dragging us back there, Sandro.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I think it was a fun time.
This is great. So they're farming space wheat in yours,
They
and
are.
we've got tentacle-mouthed crocodile octopi cats in mine.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna call that like
Spliced.
the blob. Oh, okay, spliced. That old ABC.
yeah. That's one. That one's for the Australians.
What a callback.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Take me back to Splice, dude.
Okay, there's only a little bit more before my sort of like kind of midpoint-esque
Midpoint.
sort of thing, but the big revelation there is that, like we've seen Ray properly use the Force now.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
out of that one. They do eventually get to this settlement.
They
Sedimentary
get to the
rock.
sediment.
Yeah. They get to this quote, settlement. It's actually an open cut kyber mine. full of enslaved beings.
Another one?
Yeah, another
Cool.
one. Wow, they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
I've seen 2 so far in my treatment.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
I had a nickel for every time.
Every time, I know. Exactly. They will eventually launch a plan to try and liberate this group because they're like, no, this is wrong, and Finn will go along with it. But no, that's kind of it. There's my,
That's the end
Come
of
on.
your Act 2A where they find the
Kyber mine. Yeah.
Kyber mine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I suppose that them finding the Kyber mine is kind of the pinch. It's kind of like how the core villain reoccurs in the story.
I suppose so. But
Yeah.
usually pinch happens halfway through Act 2A.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, really loved the speed running the character motivations in that campfire scene. That was great.
Yeah.
Because Finn goes from maybe I respect this Jedi to I don't think I trust Rey though because she's a Jedi and I have to I have to kill them both.
Yeah.
That's where he ends up, right? He's like, I have to kill both of these two.
It's kind of just like, it wouldn't even be so much like, it's not like you would really see it. It's more
That's
that
my
he's,
thing as well,
yeah,
is because it's
yeah.
like this is all like a lot of internal character motivation.
Exactly.
training,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
he's got no one to externalize that to. He's got no one to talk to that
No, no,
about.
no.
So
Well,
he's just
it's-
sitting there looking intently at these two people.
It's performance, It's
Yeah.
it's we see things in the eyes, we see things in the face. Yeah.
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 And are we to gather that he's kind of getting a bit chummy with Rey until he...
Initially, and then
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, I can't trust anyone, can I? I'm stuck out here in the jungle with 2 Jedi. Everyone else is dead, and I've got a job to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like the Stockholm was about to set in.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah. It's like
and then he saw that
he
the
was,
Jedi-
He was so close. Yeah.
So my question for this, it feels really tense at this point. Like
Yeah.
they've been tracked to this planet, they've been attacked by First Order, they're stranded there, they're walking through with no knowledge of where they're going to end up, just a vague idea there's something there waiting for them.
Yeah.
They get to this Kyber mine. From there on, what does the story really look like for you?
I don't know where the story's going from.
No, I'm just curious,
Well,
like how it escalates and what. So they liberate all the people from the Kyber mine you mentioned.
Oh no, they're gonna try.
They're gonna
start.
try.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Finn's got a job to do, doesn't he? So there's this Kyber mine. It's a bit more of an established settlement. This is spoilers for
That's fine.
next week. He'll call in the First Order. Hey, I found them.
Right. And then they're gonna get back to the First Order ship, and they'll have like a confrontation there of some kind.
yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
That's where
Okay.
third act confrontation will happen.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Within the confines of the First Order ship.
I guess just for this, it just feels like so much of an escalation that it's less of like a build up from Act 1 into like we've gone from Act 1 to like Act 3 in terms of tension and stakes of like what's happening and who we're with,
Yeah.
as opposed to like slowly ramping up the tension of like who we're meeting and like what kind of battles we're getting thrown at. Because yeah, it's just that's fine though because that's normal structure stuff,
Yeah.
and that's not necessarily something that Star Wars ever really sticks to. So like the stakes like escalate so quickly.
Oh, there's
in like
they're
Attack of the
going-
Clones, for
Yeah.
example, or
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, there's more stakes to go from there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet.
Oh, absolutely. Especially like we started yours with that all-out assault last week.
Yeah.
Um.
Your
Yeah.
first like
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
opening
No,
fight.
I was like big exciting battle.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Star Wars. Here's a big exciting battle. Yeah.
I loved how like both of you guys incorporated the campfire.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
I
going to
know-
happen.
Yeah, I know you were
Well-
pretty like on the rocks about it.
Yeah.
Bryce.
It's funny because it's like those sort of moments in films will happen, but we just went literally. We went for it literally, as in like it is literally a campfire scene. You can have campfire scenes in different settings, but
Yeah.
we're like, nah, fuck it.
Well, I really like it, and we've
Yeah.
never really seen it done in
No,
Star
you
Wars.
haven't.
And I think really for these 3 characters in particular, you need to have something beautiful and binding for them to come together properly.
Yep.
And it needs to be that moment where they are these 3 people who come from completely different backgrounds, have completely different understandings of the galaxy and how they fit in it, and they're talking to each other for the first time and really getting to know each other. And then also for mine, what I liked, this happened accidentally. Rey and Ben fall asleep together, and that's the first time they really spend physical time together in proximity, in close proximity, and they instantly kind of like form this Force dream connection. And you kind of like, I'm imagining like the shot from the sky like coming down onto the 2 of them as they're having this Force dream. And I can see that in my
Oh,
head, and it like cuts to like what they're seeing, and they're kind of having like this shared dream. And the last thing they see is this bounty hunter coming up close to them that's going to kill them, and they both wake up.
Yeah.
Kind of like you can visually see them coming closer together because up until this point they've been in different ships and that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's kind of what I've been playing with for those 2 anyways. And then meeting Finn and Finn being, I'm not happy with Finn.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with what my Finn looks like right now.
Yeah. Right.
I've got a bunch of notes of things that I don't like for mine, so we can jump into some more stuff. We're gonna spend the rest of the episode breaking down what we've just been talking about for the past 40 minutes-ish, I think. How long have we been going for?
Pretty much 40 minutes.
And yeah, we're going to break some of the stuff down, talk about our workshop notes, some of the stuff that we're building up to in Act 2B and then Act 3 for our climaxes, finales and stuff. And that'll be what we do next week as well. But yeah.
Yep.
Any notes from you guys before I jump into the stuff I've written down?
Yeah. So, when it comes to like the idea of fun and games, when I think of A New Hope specifically,
Yeah.
and like Star Wars being like space adventure, and what makes it feel like an adventure rather than just a black and white good guys versus bad guys thing is when you have like sort of an indirect force come in and be a part of the fun and games. That's like sort of why I doubled back on like this environmental element that Mello had incorporated. Like, even though that the main crew in A New Hope are in the Death Star, or in like the main base of the villains, the trash compactor still feels like an environmental thing.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel like the evil side
Actively trying to get for them. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that environmental element. I think it makes it feel like an adventure rather than just like good guys always versing bad guys.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And I think that's something like I'd love to see in the fun and games incorporated somehow.
I have been thinking more on it the more we're talking about it. I'm almost certain the midpoint of Star Wars A New Hope is the Death Star firing.
Right.
Because up until that point, what we've got is them in Mos Eisley. They're meeting Han Solo and Chewbacca. They are getting their ticket to get off of Tatooine, basically. Like, we've had our first act. We've had our setup and our turning point and stuff.
Yeah.
The break into Act 1 is Luke and Ben Kenobi standing on the edge looking at what's the fucking hub of scum and villainy? Hive?
Mos Eisley.
The hive of scum and villainy. And yeah, so that's the break into Act 2. And they meet Han and Chewie, and then they have this like mini adventure in the streets getting chased by this spy and the stormtroopers. Then they get up into space, and Ben teaches him some of the Force and like some of the philosophy, and gives him the lightsaber and stuff. That's the fun and games.
True.
In terms of the structure, you have fun and games all throughout the movie. The trash compactor is really, it's fun and games. It's tense. The walls are closing in, not necessarily the stormtroopers, but the enemies are still in a sense closing in. And the stakes are getting higher and higher as they get towards the scene with Ben Kenobi dying. And that's the Dark Night of the Soul after that. But I'm convinced right now, I could be wrong, I'm convinced it's because that's the false defeat. Because they get there, Ben has this whole moment where he's like, oh my God, I'm so, like I can feel
after
the voices reaching out and they're going silent. And then they get there and they see the destruction of Alderaan where the planet used to be. That's the false defeat, I think. That's the midpoint.
Yeah.
I'm going to plant my flag in the ground. Anyway, that's my little structure rant. I think about this. I've been thinking about structure so much recently.
I couldn't tell.
And just video essays on video essays. Yeah. I don't read, though. I don't know how to read.
Compared to Mello's treatment,
do
you also see Ben in that fight going kind of like Spartan Rage?
I up until this point, I've seen him as reckless. And doing and making the wrong decision. My thing on Ben's Spartan Rage, and I had this realization in the past week. Spartan Rage, I just said that, like, not even thinking about it. Fucking God of War. My perspective on Ben, I don't see him as having faced enough adversity to really have that deep rage within him. You know, I don't think he's really suffered a whole lot in his life. I don't think he's lost a lot. I want to change that in this movie. I want to put him through the ringer and force him to suffer so that we can see that rage in the next film. I think with Anakin Skywalker, he is raised as a slave, and then he's separated from his mom, and he's made to train, and he is trained by a bunch of people who don't respect or love him. That is a lot. That is a huge deal of suffering. And when he gets to Darth Vader, especially after watching Clone Wars, you really fucking believe it. With Ben, I couldn't believe him being evil in the first movie or having that inner rage out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah, right.
That's my perspective on it anyway. That's kind of what I've been thinking about for the past week for Ben.
Yeah.
So he gets them in trouble because he's reckless in that first fight.
And
destroys the ship.
As a sort of jump over then, from your perspective, Mello, what's fueling that rage, that anger?
I think so, like, I want to make it clear though that like I think that the ensuing scenes after that fight would probably more condemn that action. Well, would like to condemn that action of him, you know, going in, killing all those troopers.
Yeah.
And his thing is more, it's just like, this sounds very stupid and simple, but it's just enemy, isn't it? You know?
Yeah,
like they've got guns, they're firing at me.
Yeah.
Nope. See you later. I've got a lightsaber, and this is what the stories say that the heroes do.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting because
fight the enemies.
Yeah. And here we are for the very first time. No thought was ever given in the original trilogy to Luke or Leia or Han ever doing that.
So
it was
much
just
easier.
It's just a given.
That's not the Death Star explodes in the same way a firework does.
Yeah, literally.
And everyone in the theater claps and cheers.
It's joyous. 1 million people have just died.
And 1 million people just died. But
Luke
you don't
is
really
a
think about that.
Mass fucking murderer.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair. That's like...
And the last person you see die is Grand Moff Tarkin,
Yeah.
who is so evil.
Yeah.
You're like, he fucking died. And you feel really good about it.
Yeah, but thus is the evolution of the world and of storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, villains are not black and white. Yeah, it's you know, it's his heroics, however misguided they are.
Yeah.
And that'll come full circle later in my treatment.
No, I think we're definitely on the same page where it's like Ben is approaching this from a place of I want to be a hero. I'm going to go do the heroic thing.
Yeah.
I think you and I are just coming at it from different directions of that same kind of drive.
Yeah. I know you've got like a topic of stuff, but like maybe just to like smoothly segue into it, just on the case of Finn, because we both have two very different Finns here.
Yeah, I really want to talk about Finn stuff.
Okay.
And I know you're not maybe the keenest on how you're approaching Finn at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't mind how you're approaching Finn. My only like quandary is is his circumstance of how he's kept alive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys think that they should just kill him? So the fight is over. This guy's not armed. Kill him?
It's such a strange distinction to make when Ben has been shown in this scene, I'm gone full rage, I'm killing all these guys.
Yeah.
And then there's one guy that they don't kill. That feels like a plot armor decision where it's like instead of, killing them all, I kill everyone except this one guy for seemingly no reason. And it's just like, oh, well, we can't kill them all. That's just like, it feels like maybe there needs to be some more plot reason for it. Like, this one's got to stay alive.
Right.
You could make it like a pushback moment for Rey. Like,
okay.
Finn's the one that
really
Rey
good.
is fighting. Ben's just killed all these guys.
Yeah.
Comes over to kill him, and Rey's like, "Stop! What are you doing?"
Like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I like that.
Cool.
So, my fucking Finn stuff. So, as we know, it's probably like the most complicated, annoying thing about mine right now is that Finn's motivation as a character is he was a part of the First Order, and he grew to be like, you know what? I don't believe in Phasma's vision, and he reaches out to Han Solo and feeds Han Solo information about the First Order.
Yeah.
Phasma discovers this and feeds false information to Finn to lure Han Solo into a trap, and then ultimately win and fire the Kyber laser without being stopped.
And this false information was the like creation of a second base.
Yeah, so she created two. One was a decoy.
Yeah.
And Finn manages to get out of the situation and hide out where he grew up, which is where I've put this farm planet. So he grew up on this kind of like New Empire farm where they like grow crops and stuff.
Got you. That's cool.
Yeah,
okay.
So that's where he's grown up, and that's why he's gone there, because it's the first place he could get to.
I was
How he got
wondering-
there and why he's stuck there, I have no idea.
I was wondering why they sided with him, why the farmers would side with him.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
that makes a lot more
I
sense.
kept my beats very short, and that's why.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
he's there with the farmers, because they're New Empire farmers.
Yeah, okay, right.
And they're growing crops for the New Empire and stuff. And it's tricky because what I want to show with Finn is like, here is what I believe in. There is a goodness here. Like, these are people. These are real people. They are just misguided people. They've been shown that fascism works and it will keep you safe. But obviously, the truth of that is it's not. It's not the truth. But that's what he believes, and I want to show it, make it believable. But it's just this farm planet sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I think where I struggle is like I'm so for the message of like,
Yeah.
these people are misguided and like showing them the way, but I think my problem stems with the fact that like he's already like sort of broken free. It feels like Finn from like that imperial sort of mindset.
I think the thing is though, and like the New Empire in my head, and this is something I've literally in the past week come up with, is this idea of the New Empire, which is a bad name, by the way. If we're calling it the New Republic,
Yeah.
then also the New Republic, it's a bad name. I'm not sticking with it. But the New Empire, the whole thing is like, Palpatine and the Empire brought stability and structure and justice to the whole galaxy, and they did it for 20 years, and it was taken down by a bunch of terrorists. That's their perspective. They want to bring it back. They want to bring order, structure, and law to the galaxy and bring peace to what they see as a very tumultuous galaxy at this point. Even though it's not really necessarily true, but they see the New Republic as failing as a government system because it's not them.
By the end of this movie, in your treatment, do you sort of see the New Empire becoming one with the First Order?
Sort of, yes, because that's part of Phasma's plan. Her plan in this movie is to first blow up the head of the crime empire, then second, blow up the head of the New Empire, and take out any opposition she has in either of those sectors.
Oh, okay, right.
So that everyone else who's left has no choice but to join her.
Yeah, right.
The last target is Rey's home, which is a very neutral scavenger
The base, like the ring.
outpost. Yeah, like the ring. Because the whole point of that, and everyone knows it, this is neutral ground. You don't come here and fight. You come here to get bounties and stuff. It's a little bit lawless, but it's outside of the crime factions. We've created this safe haven of neutrality. And she says, no, you're either with me or you're against me. And that's why I'm targeting you.
Right.
And that's the third target. And then Rey has to decide to fight for something. She has to be like, am I going to be neutral and allow myself to, and think that I'm going to have no consequences for that? Or am I going to choose my own path? And that's her whole story. So the whole time when Ben is deciding for her who they're going to fight, she's slowly getting more and more mad about this whole thing. She's like, no, I don't want to make decisions. I don't want the consequences of that. So yeah, that's where Phasma is. It's just a little bit complicated for me, and I'm not liking where Finn fits into that. piece of it because he believes in the New Empire. He believes that the New Republic is failing and that they're bad. He's been told that his whole life. He joined the First Order. I'm thinking maybe now as a spy to try and bring them down from the inside.
Right.
But because of that belief. But yeah, again, still lost on Finn, and I'm keen to workshop it with all of that.
Yeah, well, it feels like there's two paths really. Like you can take like that super red pilled perspective of like he's super hard into the Empire, and then like if he joins as a spy, I mean, like you kind of like lose that entire message, but you do get to then play a bit more around naturally with Finn and Ben's relationship.
Yeah,
I feel like because like a problem that I've been thinking about quite a few times in the past is the idea of Finn being so red-pilled and then getting in conversation with Ben, which eventually is going to have a full arc. So it kind of feels like they're like crossing each other, but
yeah,
in a way that doesn't quite feel natural because you'd feel like one of them would agree with each other
Yeah.
by that point. But yeah, I mean, like him being a spy, like how do you imagine that? Just like playing with that hypothetical.
he really believes in the New Empire, and he doesn't believe in Phasma's vision of destruction.
Gotcha.
Phasma wants to bring destruction to the galaxy, and he finds that out, and he's like, "No, I got to take this down from the inside," like, or something along those lines. And that's why he wants to get out. That's why he wants to stop Phasma, even though he still believes in the New Empire, because he believes that the Empire is fundamentally good and just. And that's what his motivation is for me right now. And again, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. Mello, what do you got?
My Finn's a bit more akin to how Finn always was, I think. But
Yeah.
it's just like this is the story that we were always wanting to tell. Or we'd been speaking about was telling his fall in this film.
Yeah.
Telling his sort of like disillusionment with the First Order.
Yeah.
Starts now.
Okay.
We're not coming into the movie and being like he's already disillusioned. He already wants out. So my one is a bit more, and it might feel a bit like flip-flopping motivations given so many different factors, but it's just about finding his footing a bit more.
Yeah.
So where we do come in with him in this version is like in no way disillusioned at all. He's just a soldier, but now he's going off away from the First Order for the first time and being offered up these new perspectives. He's spending time with a Jedi who he'd been told are evil, and just with with a random person who it's like, oh hi, potential friend, I guess. You didn't kill me, you spared my life. That's nice. Help me fight these monsters, but then something to do with the Force. Wow, okay, ugh. Don't know about this. So it'd lead to a further betrayal. But then these conversations, this experience is stuck in his mind a bit more, and I think it would encourage him to dig a little deeper into the First Order once he's back with them, find out a little bit more, and in doing so, he's going to discover that things are not what they seem.
Yeah, I think him playing with that internal like conflict is very interesting, and I think it's fun to have. It's very akin to Han in A New Hope, but it's not like copy and paste. There's different motivations there entirely.
Yeah, he's coming from a different place, and I think just my end goal for him for this film is not finding the cause, not immediately taking out whatever cause the heroes are with. It's rejecting the world that he's a part of.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have that be, that's a successful arc for him.
That's exactly where I'm at as well, where he's not believing in the New Republic. He's turning against his upbringing.
Yeah, because then I'll make that's episode 8 is
exactly
giving a shit a bit more about why this cause. If I'm going to get involved in something, I've just spent my whole life being conditioned to a cause that was wrong.
Why should I immediately jump into a different cause
Exactly.
and a different system of beliefs?
Yeah, he'd be scared of that. It's a
absolutely
brave choice.
And I'm thinking that way with Rey as well, where it's like they both kind of end this movie in a similar place, where it's like I've turned against what I believed in this movie, but I don't necessarily have something to like hold on to next.
My one is more Rey trusting that ability within herself that she's so afraid of, that she's suppressing rather, beginning to see the Jedi or just the Force as an avenue.
Like in terms of Finn, you guys are pretty unified on an end goal.
Yeah. How to get there.
Yeah, I think if I go back and rewrite this whole thing, Finn will be like the key thing of like, how do I move this bastard around in the puzzle?
Yeah, it's definitely like a struggle to work around, especially when you consider the fact that he is a side character.
Yeah,
like he's a part of the trio, sure, but he is like Han Solo. It's a very passive kind of arc, rather than like something you focus on more like with Ben or Rey.
Got a question though? So, Act 2A, this should be our first inkling of the movements of the enemy as well. So the pinch point happens usually halfway through Act 2A. My thing for Phasma's involvement is through bounty hunters and assassins. So she's acting through like second and third parties to influence the rest of the story, which is sort of similar to what Darth Vader does in, A New Hope and stuff. And also, I guess, in Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
He's bounty hunter.
I see your structure and I reject your structure.
So you guys
I've already established it.
You guys have just found a Kyber mine.
Yeah.
and I'm like,
I wonder
assuming
whose Kyber mine it is.
I wonder.
I do wonder whose Kyber mine it is.
Also, what's
Do you want to know?
what's Leia
Yes.
and Luke doing?
Exactly.
They're not in Act 2 at all.
Nah.
All right.
Well, we had that scene where they said,
There's that
okay,
one scene.
we're going to go after Ben. Yeah.
Oh, right,
I
yeah.
found a way that I'm pretty happy with.
Just don't put them in.
Where they're not in the film because it's just not relevant. Yeah. We saw them at the start of the film. We'll see them at the end of the
The
film.
Lawrence Kasdan strategy.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
But the second act is not for them.
that's gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that's fair.
there's no I'm not going to shoehorn them in.
Yeah.
It's just
No.
not, it's just not relevant.
Yeah,
we're
for
not
sure.
we're not following them.
Well, that's why I did the dinner scene with the guys, because it's very low stakes. There's
Yeah.
not a lot happening. There's an assassination attempt, but it's in the presence of Luke Skywalker. No one's getting hurt. Like, there's no chance.
I
you know?
thought
I think
of-
you can make it feel tense, but there's not
Yeah,
actually
it'll
too
be-
many stakes
I want it to
around
be fun more than tense, is my
Oh, okay, right.
I thought of scenes that we could cut back to with Leia and Hux, but I'm like, no, this would get deleted. This scene would, like, whether or not they filmed this,
Yeah,
like,
right.
so, grand scheme of things, this scene would be cut from the cutting room floor
Mm.
because it just is slow and fucks up the pacing of the film. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm just not going to write it in.
It is a bit weird making a treatment because, like, as like you guys know, the film is made 3 times.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's- yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like we're kind of just like getting those 3 times: the writing, the production, the editing, and putting it all into like one thing that we think is like a cohesive movie.
Mate, we haven't
Yeah.
even written this
one
yet.
treatment that's a cohesive movie.
Yeah, Sandro, I'm with Mello. I disagree with you. We're so far even before the writing right now. Like,
Yeah.
like,
No,
No,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we can think
Yeah.
forward to these things.
Yeah, but like
which is what I've done here.
with that
but-
being said, then if you are so far before even the writing, don't
Yeah.
be afraid to chuck those scenes in.
Oh yeah, I
If you think it's going to get cut,
I could put it in, but it would provide nothing.
right?
Putting Leia and like I've had that scene where they're like, we're gonna go find Ben. Going back to the politics, which we already established there's conflict there. Again, we'll see it again in Act 3
Mm.
and in the resolution, but it doesn't matter to me at this stage.
Right. Okay.
But no, I like the dinner scene because with the assassin who is sent by Phasma. So Phasma is having a direct negative impact on the plot. What that does is like, oh, maybe they were going to convince Hux. Maybe they were going to get him on the side. The second he gets like an assassination attempt, and everyone's like, that was straight up from Phasma, who has just done the first laser strike. Hux is like, no chance. She's trying to kill me because I'm the leading proponent of this whole Kyber laser initiative thing. I've never been more resolute about this. And that's not something Phasma thought about. I don't want her to be 10 steps ahead like Palpatine.
No.
I want her to be like, if I kill Hux, there will be no leader of this movement.
She's just
and Leia
motivated her enemy.
exactly, and Leia will win. Not thinking the fact that maybe she would martyr Hux and make him like a symbol of this movement, which could have happened as well. She's
Yeah.
like, I don't care. I'll just kill the next leader. You
Yeah.
know, that would be her mentality.
Right.
That's where I'm coming out with Phasma anyway. That's why she sent the assassin.
You can throw a leader at me, and I'll kill that one, and I'll kill the next leader,
Yeah.
and the next
And
leader.
the next one, yeah. That's what I've got in my mind for Phasma as a villain. As like a, because I really want her to just be like this psycho who's just murdering people, you know, and like destroying like entire cities and stuff.
And also, we make a villain without humanizing them. Let's just make them just a murderer.
Mass murder.
Just yeah.
You know what? That's a good point, Mello. I forgot about the wanting to humanize the villains thing. I forgot about that entirely.
No, like there's always, we can do the Star Wars thing. There's always the villain who you just got to be like, they're evil, you know.
Well, the villain I want to humanize is Hux and Ben.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Ben I
fine.
want to be like a key villain in the next movie.
There's not room for everyone. You've got to have a General Grievous at some point.
Sometimes you got to have a General Grievous
Yeah.
who is just comically evil,
It's
and
funny.
you got to kill him.
Act 3 will find out Phasma's motivation in my treatment.
Hey,
Yeah.
very interesting.
There's more to the picture.
Very fun. That's a very good tease for next time.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because I think we're almost there.
At the end of the show?
End of the
Yeah, I feel like we've got time for like one more thing. What have we got to talk about? We've talked about Leia and Luke and what they're doing.
Talked about Finn.
Talked about Finn.
We didn't actually talk about what you're farming on your planet. I'm curious. We could delve into this.
Dude, it's literally like wheat.
Farm.
Wheat.
Farm
Wheat.
planet. That being said,
Yeah.
I defend the idea of the farm planet in
Oh yeah,
itself.
farm planet's
With-
cool.
I don't know if we've really seen like a farm planet outside of The Mandalorian. Where
No.
they farm the shrimp or whatever the fuck that is, the blue
farm,
shrimp.
yeah.
Yeah, outside of Mandalorian and like some Clone Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Not really. No.
Yeah. Speaking of the blue shrimp, because the Mandalorian features a lot of blue food.
Does.
I think, and so does Andor. Just slow down a sec, Star Wars.
Okay.
Green.
Food doesn't always have to be a single color. Just because.
Very often.
A
It is
few-
more than one color.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just because the milk in the first Star Wars
Oh,
was
so funny.
blue doesn't mean it always.
I think
has
it's just
to
more
be.
of like a running joke at this point.
It,
It's
it
like
kind of
Star
does
Wars
feel like a
food
joke.
Is
yeah,
blue, you
yeah.
know?
Like they
all
full on just
blue.
had though. Like when they had the macaroons, I was
Oh,
was
it's-
so
it's
funny. I'm like,
ridiculous.
okay.
But that being said, blue wheat. blue bread.
That's why it's blue. Oh my god, it's
That's
not
really
a
funny,
dye. That's
actually.
amazing.
Yeah, they grow blue wheat on
Yeah.
Finn's planet where he
That'd be
lives.
like
Blue
really
corn.
pretty to look at as well.
It would be pretty.
You look out and it's like, is that an ocean? Wait, the way it's moving,
Oh wow!
it's wheat.
Blue
Blue
wheat.
wheat field.
Blue wheat in a pink sky. You know, it's really like vibrant Technicolor.
Love it. There's no way this atmosphere is breathable.
You don't need to think about that.
Okay,
Okay, it's always a breathable
Sorry, Star-
atmosphere. We're
yeah.
doing Star Wars here.
yeah, yeah.
This isn't Star Trek.
Maybe there's a blue wheat raptor in the fields, and that's the monster they go. That's the space monster they got to fight.
Wait, it's blue.
Yeah.
The raptor from Jurassic World.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Blue. That's
yeah.
right.
Wow.
Wow, we really are good Hollywood writers.
Yeah. You know what one of us should have? Now this could be cool. Or you could the opportunity to introduce a new villain. Because I could have that cat monster thing from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
It could be this is the planet that's from.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Like
Or-
throwback animals.
Yeah. Or the rhino. Or you could just do a new animal.
That'd
Like,
be
it could be
sick.
interesting. to see
I
what
always
they can
pictured those were like local creatures, like Geonosian creatures, for whatever reason. I don't know. Because like the crab one in particular with like the pincers,
get. Praying
that
mantis.
that screamed very much like this can live on a rocky planet.
Well, it's true. Well, when you consider the fact that Geonosis is just a bug planet.
The
Have other
mantis
bugs.
to me definitely makes sense. The other two, like I feel
I
like
wanna
we're
say they're
like
from somewhere
brought
else.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Very,
Have we ever spoken about Gundarks on this show?
What the fuck is a Gundam?
They're in season 2 of season 2, I think, of Clone Wars. They are. It's funny because Gundarks are referred to in Empire Strikes Back,
Yeah.
and then in Clone Wars, they're like, "This is what that is," and it's this like red ape with 4 arms, really aggressive face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there might be one in. I could be wrong. No, I'm wrong.
Okay, well, that's enough about Gundarks
Yep.
and Geonosian creatures. We've also talked more than enough about Act 2A of our version of Fixing the Sequel Trilogy. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed listening to the show. This has been Fixing the Sequel Trilogy. We're here every week. Right now, talking about rewriting our version of The Force Awakens, which I don't, talking about The Force Awakens, I don't have the title for mine at all.
Oh, mine's still Force Awakens. It works.
I feel like I'm going to have to go back and change it. That's a problem for another episode of this show, potentially next week when we cover Act 2B of our version of The Force Awakens. Till then, you can catch us on social media like Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, all those good places where you can find the show and support the show online. Give us 5 stars, give us a like and subscribe, all the good stuff. But until next time, may the Force be with you.